If you're feeling drained, if you're feeling lost at sea, if you're feeling like you don't have purpose, if you feel like, man, is it really worth it of being a student athlete at the college level? It's probably because you don't realize that this is a business. It's probably because what you think the business of as far as being a student athlete is not what it actually is. How it was marketed to you is different in the actual reality. And we're going to get into that today in a major way. I'm going to give you 10 points on crafting your own business of what it should be about being a student athlete, so you don't walk away confused, so you don't walk away depleted, so you don't walk away empty. We're going to get into that in a major way, but before we do, let's go ahead and frame what I want to get across to you today, and that is it being a business and knowing what business you're in. When I think about companies like McDonald's, many people may think they're in the business of hamburgers. They may think they're in the business of the best fries. But I'm here to tell you that that is not the business they're in at all. They're actually in the business of real estate. I've watched a documentary about McDonald's recently, and they talked about that. Just owning the real estate in which they operate has helped them more than having the best hamburger. No one goes to McDonald's thinking, I'm going to get the best hamburger. No one thinks that. So they were able to identify early on what their business is and be able to make the next move, the best move, and dominate in that industry. And we see this all the time. I'm just thinking about different industries. Let me think about like being a barber. Now I know y'all may say like, well, what the heck you know about being a barber? You're bald headed. Stay with me, stay focused, okay? Being a barber, what's the business that they're in? What is the business that they're in, being a barber? Well, I know the barbers that I go to in the black community, barbers are an extension of mental health, an extension of you being a man and being able to have a conversation, real, authentic, transparent. It may be wrong, it may be right, but I have a safe space that I can actually have this conversation. That's what business they're in. They're in the business of mental health. And by my estimation, they're in the business of confidence. Man, look here. When I used to have a hairline, don't catch me 30 seconds after, don't catch me within the first 3 days after coming out of a barbershop. It's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad for you, okay? My confidence is going to be on a scale of 1 to 10, it's going to be a fly 11. All right? Because they're in the business of confidence. Do I feel confident? Can I go to another barber and get my hair cut? Sure, I can cut my own hair, but I don't feel as confident as I did when I went to that barber. Okay, I don't feel like, I can really talk about the things I'm going through in my life in a way that I'm not judged, in a way that, I can get some advice from some of the old heads. Now I'm the old head, but I can get some advice from some of the old heads, and I can actually kind of really process what's going on in my life. I don't get that from just any barber. Their business model isn't just that they cut your hair. Their business model is mental health and confidence. I say the same thing as far as Nike. Like, what's the business of Nike? What's their business? Because they got the best shoe? Huh? It's a commodity. Because they got the best shoe? You think Nike got the best shoe? I think their business has nothing to do with having the best shoe. I don't hear anything about the cutting edge of Nike shoe as it compares to Adidas, as it compares to Under Armour. I don't see that. Maybe you see that. I don't see that. I'm spitting. I don't see that. I see they are champions. I see that they make sure they're always associated with whoever's the cutting edge of winning, and they put their shoes on them, and everyone else is like, hey, I want those shoes because my favorite athlete wears those shoes and they're a champion and they wear Nikes, so I want to wear Nikes. But are they in the business of the cutting edge of shoes? Do they have technology with their shoes right now that stops all these Achilles tears? I'm not saying they should, but what I'm saying is they know what business they're in. Okay? They're in the business of associating themselves with the best of the best champions. And all the other dominoes will fall once they associate that with them. They gave LeBron got like a $90 million shoe contract before he stepped foot in the NBA. He's a champion. Regardless how you feel about it, he's a champion, and they made sure they jumped on board. So that's the business model. That's the business they're in. Now, I'm using that word business very loosely for the context of this video. It's not a business model, but you get what I'm saying, okay? You get the context in which I'm speaking upon today. And that is, you got to know what business you are in. You got to know what business you're in. Now, if you're a student athlete, let's just go from the top. If you're a student athlete, the public perception of what the business is of being a student athlete is far different than what it actually is. So the public perception of it right now is everybody, when I'm traveling, shoot, I don't even have to be traveling. I can go to the grocery store. And if you ask someone about being a student athlete, the first thing that's going to fall out their mouth is NIL, name, image, and likeness, man. These student athletes getting paid, man. So they think that's the business of being a student athlete. Little do they know that you're talking about a small percentage of individuals that they actually is affected by that, meaning money in their pocket. All student athletes are being affected by it because, you know, it deals with recruitment as well. So it bleeds into other areas. But as far as money in their pocket, you're talking about a small percentage of individuals that it actually impacts. So that clearly is not the business of being a student athlete, even though it's the thing that gets on TV. Everybody's talking about it. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're getting paid. That's the business. No. That's not the reality of the majority of student athletes in college. It just simply is not. Another thing is people think that the business of being a student athlete is having a father figure, a mother figure, as far as the coach is concerned. You know, that coach is going to look out for me like my mama, like my daddy. And what I always say is, that's a lie. It's not a lie. What it is it's potential. Okay. And I think that when you go into the situation thinking that someone's going to look after you for you like your mother or your father, you put yourself at a great disadvantage. You got to understand this is a business transaction, player. This is a business transaction. They don't owe you that. The best way to find out if your coach is a father figure or a mother figure is to look through your rear view and not your windshield. When you're looking through your windshield, you're looking at a vision that you haven't even gotten down that. You haven't even got to that destination yet. That's in the future. All right. You want to look in your rear view, meaning this person, you can look back and be like, oh, that person was looking out for me. That person did care about my classes. They did care about me beyond. They cared about me beyond how I could benefit them. Because that's what family does. Your mom, if you got responsible parents, them jokers love you regardless. You can mess up and they still love you. You cannot be of benefit for them. You can make your own decision, they still love you. That's not the case for 100% of college coaches. They are a businessman or a businesswoman that happens to have a whistle around their neck. If you didn't bring something advantageous for them to the table business-wise, meaning your talent, meaning your skill set, meaning your character, your integrity, you being a low risk, you being an asset instead of a liability. If you didn't bring that to the table, then they wouldn't be interested in you. Same thing with you. If they didn't bring the things that they were supposed to bring to the table as far as business-wise, maybe a scholarship, maybe a jersey, maybe attention, maybe practice, whatever those things are advantageous for you, then you wouldn't know this joker. So don't romance this as far as, oh, this is a business. It's a my father figure, mother figure. I'm not saying that it can't be that. I hope it is. But the majority of the cases with college coaches, they're not they're just not. And it's not because they're bad people. It's just, some will argue there's not enough hours in a day. Listen, man, I'm here to win ball games, dude. I ain't here to be your doggone daddy. I ain't here to be your daddy, dude. I'm here to win these doggone basketball games or win these whatever gymnastic meets or wrestling matches or whatever. So keeping the main thing. Some people think that this is a father figure. Some people think it's about scholarships. The business of being a student athlete is, man, you get scholarships. Well, some get scholarships. Majority of people don't. And I wish people would know that, because when I talk about student athletes, oftentimes people have this misconception, mind you, that everyone is on scholarship. That is not the case. And depending upon the sport, you get less scholarships, okay? Depending upon the sport. If you're not a revenue generating sport, you're not going to get as many scholarships as some of these bigger sports, these bigger notarized sports. You're just not going to do it. And as if you don't know this, Division III doesn't give any athletic scholarships at all. These are student athletes that are putting in time as well. Blood, sweat, and tears, early to the gym, last to leave, that kind of stuff. They're not getting any scholarships. So this whole business that you have in your mind of, when you go to college, you get these scholarships. That's not for everybody. Sometimes you got some. Sometimes you don't get athletic scholarships. Sometimes you got to glue some of them boys together. You dig? Sometimes you got to take some of those scholarships from maybe some from you were part of a sister state, so you were able to get money from there. You got academic funds coming in. You got financial aid coming in. You got, things like that that's going to help you as far as scholarships versus just athletic scholarships, because a lot of individuals are not under scholarships. So I need you to understand that. And then the last thing of the perception of what people think scholarships, the last thing of what people think that the business of being a student athlete boils down to is, man, you get life skills that's going to help you in life, and you're going to be a better father, better mother. You're going to be great in the job force. I'm the only person on the internet that's going to tell you that is another situation that you're saying potential, okay? And I want to wake some of you up about this because it drives me nuts. I feel like it lets sports get off the hook when it comes to these life skills, because they'll say, oh, you gain all these things like it's through osmosis that you just gets on your skin. It's just, oh, got me. No, that's not how it works. Okay. You have got to devote time to those life skills. You just don't get it because you're in a big room with a ball in it. That's not how it works. You are kidding yourself, because once your eligibility is up, you're going to realize how you are deficient in some of these areas that you just kind of postponed because you thought you were getting it because you were playing a sport. And it's the marketing behind it. I see it on brochures. It makes me cringe looking at it. I'll say it. Let me say it again, just in case you missed out. Playing a sport does not give you life skills by itself. It gives you the potential, possibly, okay? Possibly. Did I get the life skill of time management from being a student athlete because I had to balance all these times? Because I had to balance all these obligations when I was a student athlete? That's what the brochures to tell you. That's not the reality, though. I'm no better at I'm no better at a doggone time management than anyone else. How was I able to get through it in college? I said, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I need to do so I don't have to run. I'm a grown man now. I don't have to worry about running. Coach is not going to run me because I was late. So I revert back to my default settings. Okay? Now, some people, that works for them. It gives you the potential. Some of my previous teammates that weren't good at public speaking, they're no more better at public speaking because they were a captain of the basketball team, because they didn't actually work on that. You being a captain on your sports team does not mean you're going to be good at public speaking. You understand? Number one, let me break this down to you. And I had this conversation the last time I was at a university talking about this, doing one of our summer bridge programs for new freshman athletes. And that is, we were talking about NARPs, non-athletic regular people. And people feel like, oh, we don't have anything in common with them. Oh, NARPs, ooh, icky, all that stupid. I was like, listen, Joker, that's life. And when you get out of here, there's going to be a lot of people that don't care about your sport. You got to know how to connect with them. So this whole NARP stuff, we got to kill that. That's dumb. That's dumb. Stupid. Okay. So we had that conversation, but I think that goes to why a captain of a team still has a hard time communicating themselves outside of the realm, outside of the bubble of athletics, because they don't have the experience doing that. You've been gassed up to believe that because you have been speaking to your teammates who care about sports, that's the same as speaking with these jokers over here who couldn't care less about sports. And it's not the same. It's not the same. So the business of, you're getting these life skills, it gives you the potential, maybe, possibly, but you still have to devote time into those things outside of sports to maximize the success rate. I want to make sure I tell you this because a lot of people will gas you into saying, oh, well, I learned this from being a student. I don't know why people say that other than marketing, right? They can justify why they have you locked up in that doggone gym the entire time working on your sport. They can justify it from that regard. But I think that some of it has to do with, some previous student athletes. They can't let it go. They can't let they can't let the golden years go. So they always want to associate, I learned this from being a student athlete. No, you didn't. How you know that? How you know that? How you know? It gives you the potential. It gives you potential. Because I can type on a doggone keyboard at 60 words per minute. That don't mean I'm going to be great at playing the piano. Are there some transitional things that maybe will align? Yeah, I got finger dexterity. That'll help. But that's it. Just because I can type doesn't mean I can play music. It gives you the potential that you may be good. The same thing is about being a student athlete. So I want to go ahead and get that off the table. As far as being the business of what people think a student athlete is. But let's talk about what it actually is. So we're going to talk about what it actually is, and then I'm going to tell you how you can craft it for you moving forward. Okay. So what it actually is it's marketing. That's what it actually is. Being a student athlete is marketing for the university to bring in more students, especially when you win. Let's say whatever team you want to go to. Let's say you want to go to the University of Oklahoma. Since I've worked there and I know it's a phenomenal place, phenomenal student athletes with phenomenal support staff, and just everything about them is amazing right there in Norman, Oklahoma. Check this out. Let's say that University of Oklahoma wins the next 5 years championships at a revenue generating sport, like a basketball, like a football, right? Let's say they went 5 years back to back. Do you think enrollment is going to increase? Do you think people are going to want to go there? Yes. Even if they don't even give a doggone about sports, it's going to increase. It's going to increase. So I need you to know that. Understand that it has that bearing on it as well, that even people that don't care about sports, they're going to know more about that sport now, or that school now, because now they're going to be in the media. They're going to see more people at this university. They're going to see more commercials. They're going to see more advertisements, because they're going to have all the eyeballs, because people want to associate themselves with a winner. They want to associate themselves with a winner. And winning does that. But even if you don't win, marketing in the sense of think about this. If you're on a team, you're going from town to town, state to state, country to country, playing a sport. And if you're not a bonehead and you're not out there fighting, doing all kinds of crazy stuff as a player, that's why coaches have to make sure. That's why they're business people. They got to make sure they put out the best person out there, the best product out there is going to represent the university in the best way possible, because they're marketing when they go to these other towns. Right? Other kids that are coming up, they're seeing you out there. They're thinking now you're on their radar for where they possibly want to go to school. If it's a positive situation, again, if you're out there fighting and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, then that's a deterrent. I don't want my kid to go there. But if you out there, softball at OU is king, is queen, there's no better place. They're winning. They always win. But I'm saying when they go to state, country to country, you don't even have to care about softball. But you want to go to that school. They're cool. Look what they got. Look how happy they are. Look how happy they are out there winning. People want to be associated with winners. People want to be associated with winners. Here's the second thing, and what it actually is as far as being a student athlete, as far as the business of being a student athlete, and that is it retains students. Now, I know people tell you, now I've worked in student affairs for over 10 years. Well, I'm at like my 12th year mark. I know people tell you, man, go to school, and focus on your, go to class, go to your dorm, go to sleep. Don't worry about girls. Don't worry about parties. Don't worry about going out. Just focus on that, and that's going to be great. That's bad information. Why? because it's horrible for your mental health. We're social beings. We're not here to do life alone. You're supposed to get out there and talk to people. Now, you can do it responsibly. You can be smart about it, but you want to make sure that you put yourself out there and connect with other people. Don't let anybody shame you because you want to do that, okay? There's more to you than just being an athlete, and you got to make sure that you nurture those seeds, water those seeds in a major way that you can blossom beyond your sport, because you're going to need that moving forward. But again, it retains students. When I worked at student affairs, if we found out a kid only went to class and went back to their dorm and went to sleep, we were concerned about them. That's a mental health issue. That's an at-risk student. We want to make sure they get plugged in. Why? Because when you're plugged in on campus, you have ownership on campus, and you're going to retain. It's going to be hard to pull you away from that campus if you have other things that you're interested in other than just your sport. Okay? The university knows this. That's why we have student activities and things like this. We just can't have books and sleep for you to have. Okay? We got to make sure that we have some other opportunities for you. Sports does that. That's the part of the business of sports, that it does that for you. Okay? Not only for the athlete, but for the people that want to watch, the spectators. Not only for the people that watch, want spectators, but also the people that work there. Also for the community. It has buy-in. It has retention. It's that stickiness that allows people to come back more and more. That's great. And the last thing is this. The third thing might get me in some trouble, but I'm just going to call a spade a spade. The third thing about what's the actual business of being a student athlete is, in many communities, it fits the diversity bill. You know, I went to a predominantly white institution at Ouachita Baptist University, loved it. Shout out to OBU, Arkadelphia, Arkansas. If you don't know, now you know. Loved it. I think there's no coincidence when these schools have these brochures that's out, and then, you know, if there's 7,000 white people that are that go to the school, and there's only 10 people that are black that go to the school, one of those black people always find themselves being featured as on the brochure. Why is that? It fits the diversity. That means when they go out there to these different towns and they see these new prospective students, they can say, hey, listen, man, we want all your monies. We want all the monies. Bring them all. All right? We don't discriminate. So that's why they always put the one black person up there, the one Asian person up there, the one person that has the colorful hair up there. Because we want to make sure that you understand we in the business of getting this money. We trying to get this bread, dog. We're trying to get this bread. What you mean? And universities do that. It's a common practice. So it fits the diversity deal. All right. So I gave you what people think it is, what it actually is. But let me get down to what you need it to be. Because here's the thing. Of all the things I just named, what's going to be beneficial to you that I just named? What's going to be beneficial to you? I done told you what's beneficial to everybody else, what everybody else thinks. But what of all the things I named is beneficial to you? Because I only care about you. I only care about your success. I only care about you, your success, and how you making your mom and dad proud, and how you're going to look back on this, and you're going to have more. You're going to have more things to talk about other than championships. You're going to have more to talk about than majoring in some food. You're going to have more. We're going to make sure you get something out of this. So right now, we're going to go ahead and craft this business real quick. Now, again, I'm using this business word loosely, but you understand what I'm talking about. Now, I gotta finish this up real quick. Now, get a pen and pad. I'm over here stuttering. Get a pen and pad, because I'm excited, doggone it. Get a pen and pad. Go ahead and write this down, because I'm not editing this video. All the stutters, the ums, the ahs, you're going to get all this work, player. And if you can't stand this, then listen here. You're going to miss out. It's as simple as that. You're going to miss out. But let's go ahead and get it. I got about 9-10 points we're about to hit real quick. It ain't going to take me long, player. First things first. I want you to learn to speak up for yourself. Okay? And no matter how old the person is. Now, I came from a background of yes, sir, no, ma'am, all that kind of stuff. And that's great. But understand that if you're going to craft the business is going to be worth having anything, you got to make sure you stand up for yourself in a respectful way, because this is your journey and no one else. No one else. Do not let speaking up or your lack of speaking up cost you opportunities. Speak up. Speak up. You got to make sure you educate yourself on the business of being a student athlete or the business of going to college. And you got to make sure you speak the heck up, because listen, people are okay with you majoring, doggone, wash your hands with soap, something that's going to keep you eligible, but it's not something that's going to feed your family. People are okay with that. They're okay with you just staying eligible, just playing safe. They're okay with that. But you better not be. You better speak up, right? You better speak up and listen, man, this is your freaking journey. Don't be in the passenger side of the car, of your own car, when you got to pay gas, you got to put insurance together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to pay for, like, come on, bro. Like, listen, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that, and you don't want you to do that. But it's easy to fall into that stage because it's less confrontational. Confrontation is such an ugly word. All it means is just to confront. Just confront the issue. You don't got to be combative. You ain't got to beat people up. If you're into that, no, you ain't got to beating people up. But yeah, man, this is your journey. All these people, here's the thing. People give all these suggestions about, oh, you should do this, you do that. At the end of the day, it's you swiping your card. It's you signing that doggone bill. You're paying it with your time, energy, patience. You're paying with money. You're paying, okay? You'll never get these years back. You'll never get these years back. Okay, so you got to speak up on your behalf. Even if people don't want you to speak up, you got to speak up on your behalf because it's your freaking journey. Everybody got suggestions when it don't impact them. Everybody does. Everybody does. Let's get to number 2. All right, we're gonna get through this really quick. Number 2, I want to make sure that you network past being an athlete. This whole idea of non-athletic regular people is goofy behavior. Kill it. Kill it. You're missing out. Once you graduate college, because you're going to graduate college, 99.9% of the people you are going to be working with are not going to be previous student athletes. So you need to know how to work with them jokers. You understand? You got to know how to reach a common goal with people that don't give a flying flip about doggone sports. Okay? You got to do that. This whole idea of like, yeah, I only want to work with people that are student athletes, that is goofy. I was having this conversation, I said this earlier, I was having this conversation with some student athletes at a major Division I university, and it just grinds my freaking gears because you're missing out. You need to get on campus and connect with people that don't care about sports. You need to walk in a room and not have to use sports to be, you don't have to use sports. I can engage with you as a human being. Because I'm a human being. I don't need sports. Now, if you want to talk sports, I'm your guy. I can do that. But I'm versatile, man. I don't have to do that. I don't have to talk about sports. All right, people start making these assumptions about you because but sports is a big deal in your life, and you need to be a switch hitter, baby. You need to be a switch hitter. You need to be able to operate in both venues and do great. So I want you to do that. I want you to be able to go on campus and connect with people, faculty, staff, students that don't care anything about sports. That's going to help you out as far as networking. That's going to help you out as far as opportunities outside of college. That's going to help you out in a major way. You can't even believe there's so many opportunities that you're missing out on only because you only want to walk in rooms that have a freaking ball in it. I'm saying that loosely. I know some of y'all gymnastics, wrestling, that don't even have a ball, but you get the idea. You understand what I'm saying? All right, number 3, I want you to protect the talent. Understand what got you here. What got you here because you play a particular sport at a high clip. The proficiency that you have for this thing is elite. So if it's elite, make sure you protect it. You want to make sure that you don't let anything get in the way of the main thing. Keep the main thing, and you'll be all right, okay? Keep the main thing. And you don't have to prove anything, too. I'll say that as well. You have to prove anything to anybody. I remember when I was in college, some people, some locals that didn't go to college, they want me to play against them one-on-one so they can, I'm not doing that. Dude, this sounds pretentious and it sounds arrogant and I don't mean to be, but I'm a college student athlete, dude. What I look like trying to prove to you? No, dude. You want to play against college student athlete? Go try out. Get out my face, man. Number 4, pick a major that's going to stretch you beyond your comfort level. You do it in practice. You do it in practice. They always want you to stretch beyond your capabilities in practice. Come on, we want to be great. We want to have the mama mentality. We want to, all that stuff is great when it comes to your sport. But tell somebody you want to stretch beyond your capabilities and dog academics. They look at you like a crazy. And what I'm saying is, man, don't be picking no bull crap major. Don't be picking wash your hands with soap. Don't do that. Pick something that's going to stretch you. Pick something that you're interested in, but pick something that's going to stretch you, man. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see people making. You got to make sure that you pick something that's going to help you in your life beyond eligibility, because you're going to build a family one day. Your sons, your daughters, going to be looking up to you, Joker. They're going to be looking up to you, and you just staying eligible is not going to work. I mean, a college degree right now is like a GED at this point, if we're being honest. If we're being honest. And I'm not trying to diminish anybody's, well, I'm saying like, you want to make sure that it's very purposeful of how you're gonna use this piece of paper. Don't just be like, oh, I got a piece of paper. Yeah, so do I do. We all got paper, but let's make sure it's intentional. Okay. Listen, I mean, Big Brother Bell, I'm trying to set you up. You may think I'm trying to hate on you. I'm not trying to hate on you. We're gonna hurry up and get you up out of here. Okay. Number 5. Where we at? Number 5. We got 5 more to go. 5. Okay, I already said that one. I put that down twice. My bad. Let's see. Okay, so here's the thing. As far as networking, this is going to help you as well. Whatever thing that you're interested in, I don't care what it is. You want to be an oceanographer. You want to be a physical therapist. You got leverage right now. You want to use your leverage as being a student athlete. People are more willing to talk to you because of your status. You're a celebrity. You're a celebrity. In that world, you're a celebrity. So reach out to those people, man. Invite them to your games. All right? Often, not once. Every game, you should be inviting some people out in the community to come to your game. Put them on a list. Talk to them after the game, because you're networking. Use your clout right now, because as soon as it's over, it's over. Them jokers are going to forget your name. It's a new freshman class coming in. So use that clout while you have it. Okay? Number 7, let's get to, I want you to, and this kind of goes back into the other one. You want to make sure that you leverage you being a student athlete. There are people on this college campus that are more willing to work with you now because you are a student athlete. Use it. There are resources for you, specifically for a student athlete. Listen, working at OU, seeing softball right now, it's cool for me to be able to call people and say, hey, I work with this student athlete. Oh, I know this student athlete. Same thing when I was at Overtime Elite, working with Asar and Amin Thompson, who went, I think, number 4 and 5 in the NBA draft. It's cool for me to say, oh, I know these individuals. Oh, I met these people. Oh, I work with them, right? You are that as well. You don't need to go to the NBA. You don't need to go to NFL. You don't need to play pro for people to feel that same thing for you. You understand? I don't give a dog if you're at a Division III, NAIA. It does not matter. You are a student athlete, and people are happy to say, I know you. Now, for the people that don't, then, you don't have to worry about those. But there's some people out there that really, they think it's really cool, man. So you want to leverage that. You want to leverage that while you still have it, okay? My next one is, I got 3 more. I'm going to get you out of here. My next one is legacy. Legacy. What is going to be your legacy once you leave that school? And I tell people this all the time. Listen, if the only thing they can say about you is you can run a touchdown, if they can only thing they say, oh man, Rebecca, she can hit some homers, right? If they say, oh well, she can do, like, then you lost. You've wasted your time. That is the biggest concentration of people your same age that you'll ever be a part of for the rest of your daggone life. Benefit from it. Okay? People should be able to say things great about you beyond just your sport. If they only can say something that's dealing about your sport when you graduate, that means you've lost. Forget a win-loss column. You lost the game of life in college, period, if that's the only thing they can say about you. You should be people, director of residence life, the vice chancellor, the president, the doggone provost. They should have great things to talk about when it comes to your name. When your name pops up, they should have great things to talk about. And that offers you opportunities beyond what you can even comprehend right now, what you see available right now, and beyond your sport. That's going to help you. That's going to help you. That's going to help you. I'm telling you. 2 more things I'm going to get you out here. Another one, this is big. This is huge. I saved the best for last. Here's the thing. I want you to come up with your own metrics of success, and they cannot just be so heavily relegated on wins and loss column. You understand? It can't just be on championships. You get it? You cannot. You will find yourself drained when you do that. Don't get me wrong. I want to win. I want to win. I think wins are cool. Wins are cool. Wins are cool. Get you notoriety. People like you. Not a pretty girl, think you're even cuter. Tell me, oh, I like your hairline, even though I'm bald-headed. I was bald-headed in college too. I was bald-headed in college. But I tell you what, the girls think you're cuter. They think you're cuter when you're a winner, okay? So I get why you like those metrics. But if you're not careful, your mental health will suffer. If that's the only way that you see value in yourself is a win-loss column. I used to do this idiotic crap. I hope nobody else does this. And if I'm talking to you when I say this next thing, cut this mess out. This is not healthy. You need to see a counselor respectfully, because I did this crap. I used to lose games. I didn't eat. I didn't feel like I deserved to eat. That's embarrassing, dude. As a grown man, I can see why that's embarrassing. But by then, I thought that was me showing how competitive I am. No, it's not, dude. No, it's not. You got to eat. Don't punish yourself. This is goofy behavior. And I'm not calling you goofy. I know you're just trying to figure things out, but this is not good, dude. This is not good. And I've been there. So I'm telling you, don't do that. Go talk to a counselor about that, seriously. But yeah, you got to have some metrics outside of your sport in order to be whole. Some metrics of success outside of your sport. What does that look like? That depends on the person. Even inside your sport, have different metrics of success other than your sport. Other than wins and losses. Meaning, like, did I work hard? Was I positive? Did I know the plays? Did I know the assignment? Those types of things, other than wins and losses. Because you can do all those things and still lose. All right? I'm going to hurry and get you up out of here. All right? Last one is this. Operate in a space of gratitude. Always. I'm at the age right now when I go play basketball, I touch my shoulders, I touch my knees, I touch my hips. I said, oh, thank God. Whew, thank you, Lord. Whew. No injuries. And I want you to operate in that. Listen, there's people in hospital beds right now. There's people in hospital beds breathing from doggone tubes right now. Not because they deserve this, not any other reason, but they're in hospital beds right now. They wish they could be out there running on their own on their own ability. They wish they could be out there breathing hard. They wish they could be out there playing a doggone game, and you get to play it. There's some people in your family right now that they in there thinking about hoop dreams. Oh, I could have went to college, but I got pregnant. And not to say they couldn't go to college. I know people that wouldn't have made it anyway. But there's so many different barriers that people are, man, I wish I was in that position. And you get to live it, dude. You out there doing the dang thing. And I'm so proud of you. And if nobody ever told you that, I'm so proud of you that you're out there doing it. But you got to make sure you operate in a space of gratitude, that you enjoy this. Enjoy this process, okay? There's people that's looking up to you that's even older than you. Let that break your mind. There's people out there that's older than you that's looking up to you. You think maybe it's just my little sister, my little brother. No, player. It's a lot more than that. So operate in gratitude. I hope this helped you frame what it is to be a student athlete, the business side of it. And if you frame it off those 10 points I gave you, I think it's like 8 points because I wrote down something twice, but you'll find yourself being less depleted. You'll find yourself being less lost. You'll find yourself being less empty. You'll find yourself back on this channel for the next video. Check me out. Subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't already. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.